the roots or zeros. Fill in right there. The roots or zeros of a quadratic function are any values of x that make the function equal to 0. You learned about those with Mrs. Dyer. Remember on the parabola, or the points right there where it crosses the x-axis?
Yes.
When you did the quadratic formula with Mrs. Mullen, the answers that you found, you got x equals this and x equals this. Those were the roots. Those were the zeros. You're going to find the roots again in this lesson. You're just using a different method. The zero product property goes right there. The zero product property says that if a times b equals 0, then a equals 0 or b equals 0. Think about it. If you multiply two things and the product is 0, one of those factors has to be 0. 2 times 0, 0. 5 times 0, 0. 1.8675 times 0.
0.
Still 0. Good, you're catching on. One of those numbers has to be equal to 0. So when you look at problems like this, something times something equals 0, you can split those parts and set them equal to 0 separately. X plus 4 equals 0 and x minus 9 equals 0. And then you know how to solve those. What are you going to do? Don't think too hard. What's the opposite of plus 4?
Minus 4.
Minus 4, thank you. Put minus 4 on both sides. So what do you get? X equals what?
Negative 4.
Write it, please. And circle it nice and pretty. Thank you. Now do the other one. Oh, look. Are those signs opposite what they were in the parentheses?
Yes.
Huh, that's interesting. I feel like you noticed that earlier. Some of them, like this one, are not already factored for you. See, that's expanded? Mm-hmm. So the first thing you're going to have to do is factor it with our box from Unit 9. See if you remember. You draw on your 2x2 box. Put x squared right there. Negative 30 goes in the bottom corner. And then remember, your numbers need to multiply to be negative 30. They need to add up to be negative 1. So that's when we made our list for negative 30. 1 and 30, no matter where you put the negative, is not going to give you negative 1. It's not going to work. 2, 15, not going to give you negative 1. 3 and 10, not going to give you negative 1. 4 does not even go into 30. 5. 5 times what?
7.
6.
6.
Which of them do you want to be negative so it's negative 1? 5 or 6?
6.
Right, because that's the bigger one. So when you add those together, you're going to get the negative 1 that we were looking for. So 5x and negative 6x. And then we'll look for what they have in common. 5 and 30. 5. And then x. 1x. Yep, that's fine. 1x. Six. And since the first one's negative, right, you're going to make that negative. So here's your parentheses. I'm just going to write that as x plus 5 because it's the same thing. And x minus 6 still equals 0. Now you can split it, and you can finish it just like before. Right, x plus 5 equals 0. You can solve it. Right, there's one of them. Now you do the other one. Just make it a really nice big minus. Right. Beautiful. Now you're going to do this paper. Practice.